first thing I want to cover, the first thing I want to talk about, probably the most important news has just come across my wire, just come across my timeline right now. This is hot off the press. For those of you who are just tuning in right now, or for those of you who are maybe going to be tuning in later, this is hot off the press. Hot off the press. Drake has withdrawn his petition and dismissed the case against UMG and Spotify in the state of New York. The withdrawal says that they met and they have come to an agreement. The Texas case is still pending. So he has two cases, one in New York, one in Texas. The one in New York has been dismissed, has been withdrawn. No, just dismissed, has been withdrawn and dismissed, which is an interesting development. Now, optics wise, this feels interesting because yesterday, is it yesterday? Yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday, right? Yesterday, I felt like um, Academics was on stream with the community guys, with Glasses Malone and some other dude who I forgot the guy's name. I think Glasses Malone and some other, I think Jason Mark or something like that. I forgot his name. Please forgive me. But they were debating Academics on it, and I thought they came out on top. I thought Glasses Malone and stuff, they came out on top in terms of debating Academics on how bad the lawsuit looked for Drake, considering that he lost the battle to Kendrick. And me being a big Drake fan and just kind of looking at it from the outside looking in, I can also admit that Drake did kind of look a little bit bad with the timing of the lawsuit. Even though the lawsuit wasn't exactly going after Kendrick, because of how the battle played out, because of things that were said, because of the things that kind of annoyed Drake that were said in the battle, you could understand why some people would look at that and think, "Oh, you're going after Kendrick because you lost." You know, you've got kind of sour grapes, which isn't the case, but I can see why people think that to be the case. So anyway, because of that, it now makes it look weird. Even though I think the long game was obviously Drake trying to make sure that he gets the most amount of money he can from the renegotiation of his contract that he's gonna have with the record label. Because that's the conspiracy theory. The conspiracy theory is Drake feels as if the record label were purposely putting money behind Kendrick, promoting his record in order to dim his star and to take away his ability to negotiate for a higher amount on his record contract because he wanted to get, more millions than what he got previously based on his metrics, based on his numbers, based on his streams, blah 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 blah. That he's and obviously I guess he's alleging. This is kind of what I'm reading between the lines, that the digital streaming platforms have played a role in kind of taking away some of his pull, taking away some of his appeal, which has now led to him maybe not be able to negotiate the best possible terms for himself, which is obviously there's a bit of a what's that thing called, a conflict of interest there. Obviously, if you kind of look into it, it seems a bit fugazi because most likely whatever tactics record labels have used for Kendrick to beat Drake, you would assume those same tactics were used for Drake to be number one all this time. Right, you would assume so. But anyway, regardless, that was what happened. So the timing seems to be weird, eerily weird that it would come around this time. But I think in general, this is probably for the best. We'll probably find out what the details are exactly in a record. I'm assuming Drake will probably be able to tell us what exactly happened in a record subliminally, or maybe he'll tell us kind of, upfront what happened, how much money he got or didn't get from this. But I'm curious to see what happened and how it played out. I'm not going to lie. So it's a 3-page document, right? So far I can see here. Let's read a couple pages here, courtesy of this account, which is called Sonosphere. Let's see what they say here on the front. The front of this article here, it says, this is a Supreme Court State New York County of New York in the matter of application of Frozen Moments, which is Drake's LLC, for the order pursuing against UMG and Spotify. It says, to the court and plaintiff, this attorney of record, please take notice that petitioner and Movant Frozen Moments LLC, the Drake, and its attorney Wookie Far Gallagher LLP hereby withdraw this order to show cause, seeking pre-action disclosure and preventing the certain documents and communication with respondent UMG Inc. and pre-action disclosure and certain documents communication from respondent Spotify USA Inc. with exhibits originally filed in New York Supreme Court. Please take further notice that the petitioner hereby voluntarily discounts this special proceeding to all respondents without cost to any party. Without cost to any party. So did he get money or not? Plaintiffs met and conferred with respondents on January the 14th, so this is just the other day, regarding this filing. Respondent Spotify, which has filed an opposition to the order to show cause, responded that Spotify has no objection to the withdrawal and discontinuance. Respondent UMG, which has not yet filed an opposition to the cause, has reserved its position. Ooh. So Spotify have So it sounds like UMG are sticking with what they've said. They've done nothing wrong. Drake is gassing, da 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 da. But Spotify have the one that kind of tucked their tails, it sounds like. From what I read here. Respondent Spotify, which has filed the opposition to the order to show cause, responded that Spotify has no objection to the withdrawal and discontinuance. Respondent UMG, the record label, which has not yet filed an opposition to the cause to the order to show cause, has reserved its position. Reserved position means that they stand with what they said, I'd imagine, right? Standing 10 toes down on what you said. Okay. Let's check out the next page here to see what else was said. In the following page, what else was said here? Bada bing, bada boom. Let's see if I can get this up. Oh, why did I do that for? Annoying. Bear me a second here as it loads. I'll get this to load up on there. Let's press it. And let's see what we have here. On the next page, you've got all the signatures. Okay, cool. So nothing else. No other details there. 3 pages in total of what I read. So it seems like it's over. And maybe Drake didn't get what he wanted then. At least not in the Texas filing. Was it Texas or New York? Which one was that one again? At least not in New York. So the Texas filing is still to be done, but it looks like he's withdrawn his plea. Well, to be fair anyway, like I said previously, no matter what the reason is behind this, I feel like the optics are terrible. I'm sure the reason behind this is way more to do with Drake's own pockets and to make sure he gets as much money as possible, because he probably thinks the value that he brings to digital streaming platforms is unquantifiable, especially nowadays with how he dominates charts and shit. So I'm all for people getting as much money as they want to get, and negotiate the best terms for themselves. So I don't have any problem with this at all, zero. I just think the timing was awful. When you get spanked in a battle and then you come out and it looks like you're suing the person that you lost to, it's never going to look good, you know? It's never, ever going to look good. So I'd never like that. But I also understand, or I'm also willing to understand, that this is way above my pay grade. There's probably loads of reasons why he's doing this. And he knows, I think he's smart enough to know that this is going to look bad in terms of hip hop eyes, battle eyes, you know, purist rapper eyes, musician eyes, fans of the culture eyes. It's always going to look bad. So he probably knows he's going to take an L for the greater good or for the end goal that he wants to reach. So I'm sure these have all been kind of, you know, these are all things that he's probably thought about, the team has thought about, and they decided this is still need to be done. So whatever happens, happens. It plays out how it plays out. I'm just curious to see now if we're going to see more music from him. Does this mean we get the P&D album, collabo tapes dropping soon? Do we get more official releases? Does the Fighting Irish tune come out on DSPs? I'm curious to see what the next steps are going forward. Or is he waiting for that Texas case to see what Wagwan really is happening? I'm not too sure. Either way, Drake has withdrawn his legal petition against UMG and Spotify, at least in one location. The next one's to come. Let's see how it plays out.